Hello, my name is John Wilson, and I am the reference librarian here at Georgia Southwestern State University. If you ever have any questions or you need help in any way with research, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm here to help you succeed. My email address is john.wilson@gsw.edu. In this video, I'd just like to show you the new layout and design of Galileo. So let's click on our web browser here and type in the address of GSW's homepage, www.gsw.edu. And keep in mind, you can feel free to pause or rewind at any time. What we want to do is scroll down to the library tab, and once there, just click on it. And we want to go to GILFind. GILFind is our online catalog here at GSW, and it's also a dashboard that's going to lead us to links that we need to help find our digital requests. So let's click on GILFind. Right here, you'll click Login for Services, and it's just simply going to be your GSW email and password, and it's going to be the first part of that email. So before that, and whatever that password happens to be. Now keep in mind, if you are a GoView student, you will be prompted for a password, okay? So if you need that password and you're a GoView student, contact me at john.wilson@gsw.edu, and I'll be sure to get that password to you as soon as possible. So once you're logged in, you should see your name appear in the upper right hand corner. If you get an error message, once again, just contact me, john.wilson@gsw.edu. I'll get you up and running right away, okay? So for this video, what we want to focus on is Galileo and interlibrary loan. Galileo is an aggregated database collection. It has tons of full text articles, and it also has tons of only abstracts. And abstracts are just summaries of a full text article, but it doesn't contain the full text article. So if you see a summary or an abstract that you really like, but you cannot access that full text article, don't worry. You can simply go to these ellipses right here and click on the interlibrary loan link and order that full text article. And we'll do one as an example later on in this video. But for right now, let's click on the Galileo link. Now, if you've used Galileo before, what you'll see is quite different than what you've seen previously. And that's because of this layout and design change. So it's quite a bit different, but no worries. It's just as easy to access as before. And as always, if you click on this box and you do your search here, you'll find some results, but you will not have access to all of the results in the Galileo aggregated database collection. That's because it is an aggregated database collection, which means it's composed of over 250 databases. That search box right here is only going to search the EBSCOhost databases. So you're only going to see half of what Galileo has to offer, okay? So for this example, let's just bypass this altogether and let's look at an alternative way to access a lot of databases. Now before we get started on finding databases related to our subject, let's look at let's say we have an assignment where the professor wants you to go to a specific database such as Ancestry.com or to Films on Demand. Now your professor may say, I need you to watch this film in Films on Demand. I need you to write a report on it. To find this specific database such as Films on Demand, you will just go right down here to where it says Galileo databases by subject type or name, and then type in the name of the database. I'm not going to type in Films on Demand. I'm just going to type in Films, save a little bit of time, and there it is, Films on Demand. I can click on that database, search for the name of the movie, watch it, write my report, easy 100. Alright? Now let's look at, let's say you're in a course. Let's say you're taking an education course, or you're taking an English course, or a biology course, and you have to write a paper. What you can do is simply click on View All Subjects, and you can select the course, you can select the subject of your course. For this example, let's use education. So these are all in alphabetical order, and here we have economics. And if we go to the next page, there's education. I would click on it. Those 250 databases have been sorted to only the ones that Galileo deems relevant to the subject. Okay, so we have a lot less to go through. Now let's do Academic Search Complete first. I feel that there are 3 primary databases that are going to be beneficial to an education major. Academic Search Complete would be one. Let's take a look at what it has. It has articles, some peer-reviewed, and it goes through all topics. This is very important, some peer-reviewed. What that means is that you're looking at articles that professors are not going to want as well. Professors only want the scholarly peer-reviewed articles, and the reason why is because a scholarly article is written by a professional in a particular field of study. Okay? A peer-reviewed article is reviewed by a board or a body or a group of people who are all experts in that field of study. That means that they take that scholarly article and they deem whether or not it's good enough to warrant publication. That makes these articles our most reliable form of information. So we need to always make sure they're scholarly peer-reviewed. All right, let's click on this database. Now, let's say my topic is math anxiety amongst elementary students. What I need to do is I need to select keywords from that topic to enter right here to find those articles that might be specific to what I'm looking for. So let's use anxiety. I think that's a very important word for our topic. And what I'm doing now is I'm using a Boolean operator. Notice that and is in all caps. What that means is that it's given a direction to the computer. The computer does not see and as the word and. It sees it as a direction that in addition to anxiety, the word after and must be in that search, must be in those articles. The ones that have all of the keywords in them will be filtered to the top of the batch, which makes it very easy for you to search. Okay? So let's say anxiety, and let's say in math. And then let's use another Boolean operator. Let's say and elementary. Okay? So here we have anxiety, Boolean operator math, Boolean operator elementary. And what we're telling the computer is that in addition to anxiety and math, elementary must be within the article. Those are the ones that are going to be sorted to the top that have all 3 of those keywords in them. Let's hit search. So we have 145 results. We're seeing contextual factors related to math anxiety in 2nd grade children. Now remember, we were just talking about peer-reviewed scholarly articles and how this database does not have only those articles, but also has those that are not. To avoid getting the ones that are not scholarly peer-reviewed, we can simply go to the left-hand side of the computer screen and filter that. You see this box right here that says scholarly peer-reviewed journals? Check that. It's going to take those that are not out. So as you can see, our count's going down a little bit. Another thing we want to make sure to focus on is the publication date. Some courses are very specific with their date range. They don't want anything that dates back to 1982. They want more relevant information. Courses that I know will be very, they'll want to make sure that you have the most relevant dates are nursing and education. Okay. So let's say, we're doing an education paper. Let's say the date range is within the past 10 years. So in order to get rid of those articles prior to 2010, we would just simply change the publication date range from 2010 to 2020. As you can see, it's dropped quite a bit. Okay, so now we've, and of course you can keep filtering, right? You can use language, you can use geography, you can use subject. I mean, it just goes on and on. You can filter as much as you want to. But for this example, let's just stick with what we have right here, just to keep the video short. So contextual factors related to math anxiety in 2nd grade children. That looks pretty good. Let me click on it. Let's look at the abstract, and you can read the summary of the article to see if this looks like something that you might want for your paper. And if you look at the keywords here, notice how they're in bold. Elementary is in bold, and we see math is in bold, and we see anxiety is in bold. So it has all the keywords that we want. And of course it's filtered to the very top. So if we use those Boolean operators, those articles are going to be filtered. So let's pretend I like this. This is something that I can really use. Okay, there's that PDF full text. It'll pull it up, right? But also, you can email it to yourself. You can email the full text yourself by clicking on this icon, this link right here. And I'm just going to email it to john.wilson@gsw.edu. Subject, I'll just say article. And of course, I can have the citation information sent to me. And I'm going to choose APA because this is an education course. Keep in mind, this is a computer-generated citation. What that means is that the computer is prone to error. So the chances of your citation being correct are not very good. So you'll get the material that you need for that citation, but you better double check in Purdue OWL or with the 7th edition APA manual, whatever your teacher gives you to use, double check to make sure it's correct. Okay? Never copy and paste the citation format that's been generated in a computer because it's just problematic, and the chances of it being wrong are pretty high. Don't take that risk. All right, hit send. All right, it's been sent. And of course, I can keep doing this. Every time I see a PDF full text that is interesting to me, something I might want to look at, I can just simply click on it and email it to myself, okay? But now let's look at one where you only have the abstract. Remember we talked about earlier how Galileo databases have full text articles, but they also have only abstracts. Right here, we know it's a PDF full text. We know this is a PDF full text, but there's no PDF full text link right here. Instead, we see this blue box. Let's click on this link. This pulls up the detail record. This has all the citation information that we need to get that article. We can read that abstract or that summary, and we can see very quickly if it's something that we want. Okay? Let's pretend that it is. Let's pretend this is something that we need for our paper. We can't pull up the PDF full text in Galileo, and we don't want to pay $35 to the journal for them to send it to us. What we want to do instead is we want to go back to our GILFind dashboard, okay? So remember, go back to GILFind, click on these ellipses right here, these 3 dots, and then click on the interlibrary loan link. And it should take you right into our interlibrary loan program. If it does not, you'll go to a login screen and you'll just have to enter in once again your GSW email and your password. Very simple. Once here, we're going to go to create request, and you can choose an article, a book, or other, and by other it just means a movie or a CD or whatever other may happen to be for you. Remember, these are free. Take advantage of this. So let's get this article. We need the journal title. Everywhere you see an asterisk, it needs to be filled in, okay? So we need the journal title. Let's go back to our detailed record. And the journal title is going to be the source, okay? And so the journal is Journal of Early Adolescence. So let's simply copy and paste that. We'll go back and we'll paste it. There we go. So the date that it's looking for is going to be the date the source was printed or digitally printed, November 2019. Let's copy that. Let's put in the date, paste. Where did you learn about this item? We'll say Galileo. Page numbers. Let's go back to our detailed record. As you can see, the pages are 1311 to 1336. So let's copy that. Paste. Title of article. Now this is where people get confused. The source is the journal title, okay? The title of the article is the big one up here. So it's going to be moving up or down. So let's copy that. Let's put in that article title. Paste. All right. Service type, yes, we just want to copy. It's going to be a PDF sent to you electronically. You don't have to set foot in the library. Needed before. What this means is this is a direction to the computer saying I can cancel your request by this date. Okay? Now typically these requests go really fast. You'll usually be able to get it within 24 to 48 hours. If, however, it's a very hard to find journal and only a limited number of libraries have it, it could take longer. So what I like to do is I like to put it out at least 2 weeks ahead. Okay. So today's date is the 17th. I can say by the 31st I need that article. Once everything's plugged in, you hit submit request. That's simple. The request has been submitted. As soon as we get it, we're going to send it to your email. And that's it. You've got it. Alright. Now let's go back. Let's look at a different database. So once again, we're at our education database collection. And what we want to do now is we want to look at ProQuest Central. Okay? ProQuest is what you're going to see. You're going to see a completely different list of articles than you would see in EBSCOhost databases. So let's go to, we'll say 4, because these are in alphabetical order. So here we have N, O, P. There's ProQuest Central. Let's click on it. Now it looks a lot different than EBSCOhost, than Academic Search did. However, very similar, very easy to navigate. Let's type in those same keywords. Let's say anxiety, Boolean operator and, math, Boolean operator elementary. And let's do our search. Alright, here we have a lot of nice articles right here. We want to make sure that they're peer reviewed. Okay, so let's check on that box. We want to make sure that they're scholarly. And we of course want to make sure that that date range, well, look at that, 1963 to 2020. We do not want any 1960 articles for education, unless the topic warrants it. So let's enter a date range. Let's say 2010 to 2020. All right. So here we have more evidence that math anxiety is specific to math in young children. That sounds really good. Let's click on the title. Okay. Let's read the abstract. And notice that our keywords are highlighted. Okay. So that looks good. This looks like something that we want. Once again, we can go to email, click on email. We want to include that bibliographic citation at the end. Alright, so check this out, right? You're using APA 7th edition. This is going to send you APA 6, and probably there'll be other errors. So once again, double check that citation before you submit that paper. Don't just copy and paste. Double check with Purdue OWL or your 7th edition manual. Whatever that teacher has assigned you to use it. Email address, once again, we'll put in our email address. You can use whatever you want to. I use my school email address. Put in my name. And as you can see, if it has an asterisk, it has to be filled in. Alright. And once that's done, hit continue. That's it. You've got it. So now we have 2 articles dealing with anxiety in elementary students when it comes to math. Let's go back. Okay, you see how you see full text right here? You don't see full text right here. Now, if you really like this article, you want to get it, once again, what do, right? We pull up the record. In this case, there's the information that we need. We go back to Georgia Southwestern. We click on the dashboard here, and we click on Interlibrary Loan, and we click Create Request, and we just, once again, copy and paste, hit submit. We've got the article. All right, it's that simple. All right, so let's look at one more, okay? Now, I want you to keep in mind, and what I'm doing is I'm just going back to the database collection, okay? ProQuest Central. But what I want is I want to go to one more, and I want to look at ProQuest dissertations and thesis. Now, this is very important. Some professors do not want dissertations and thesis to be included in their report, so you always want to double check with the teacher. If, however, your teacher is okay with dissertations and thesis, you have a wealth of information here, okay? This is just like ProQuest Central. We can do the exact same thing, and we can filter in the exact same way. So let's do math and anxiety, and elementary. All right. 2010, 2020, it's already been filtered for us. These are all dissertations. These are all theses. All right, so we're not going to have a lot of choices to filter like we do with other articles. Right? We already know that these are written by graduate students who are looking to get their degrees. So once again, ask your professor before you use a dissertation or abstract, or I'm sorry, dissertation or thesis. So this was math anxiety, math avoidance. Looks pretty good. Oh, this is college. Never mind. Let's just use this as an example because I see elementary highlighted there, okay? What we can do is go to references, okay? The thing about theses and dissertations, they use a ton of references, okay? So let's say we're falling short on finding our the appropriate number of articles that we need in order to write our paper. Let's say that the teacher doesn't want you to use a thesis. We can still go and look at our theses and look at all of these just abundance of articles that have been collected by these graduate students for their own papers. Once again, be sure to make sure it's within the confines of the date, right? You want it to be within that particular date range. So if it's anything below 2010, you can't use, right? Make sure that we don't use something like this, okay? But this one is good game right here. This is dealing with elementary school teachers. This could be something that we can use. We can click on abstract. Okay, we're not seeing it. That's okay. But if it looks like something we want to explore more, here's the information to order it. Go to Interlibrary Loan, get it. It's free. Maybe something that will work well. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you feel confident using Galileo. If not, please contact me at any time. Once again, here's my email address. Good luck this semester, and you can do it.